Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Muhammad Munib Hamid. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has warned the world to take notice of India's ultra-nationalist ideology based on Nazism. Otherwise, the situation will turn far worse. UN Secretary-General has called for implementing UN resolutions for amicable solution to the Kashmir issue. Addressing a seminar in Islamabad this evening, Antonio Guterres urged the international community to come forward and recognize Pakistan's effort for regional peace. Talking to U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation in Islamabad this evening, Foreign Minister reiterated Pakistan's efforts for political settlement of Afghan conflict. 7 people were martyred in a suicide blast in Quetta this evening. In occupied Kashmir, Indian authorities have stopped people from visiting APHC Chairman Syed Ali Gilani, who is suffering from severe chest infection. And now for the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has warned the world to take notice of India's ultra-nationalist ideology based on Nazism. Otherwise, the situation will turn far worse. Addressing two-day refugee summit in Islamabad on 40 years of hosting Afghan refugees in Pakistan today, he said if this ideology is not checked, this will lead to destruction and the region will become a flashpoint. The Prime Minister said because of the Hindutva ideology, Kashmiris have been persecuted for over 200 days while living under a lockdown. Imran Khan said if the international community does not take notice of the situation, it will create another refugee crisis for Pakistan as Muslims of India have been asked to move to Pakistan. Referring to the Afghan peace process, the Prime Minister said we have extended the best ever support to the Afghan peace process. Addressing the Refugee Summit in Islamabad, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres underlined the need for renewed commitment to peace in Afghanistan for successful repatriation of Afghan refugees. The UN Secretary-General said, "We are here to serve Afghan people who deserve peace and stability and repatriation with safety and dignity." He said people of Pakistan extended generosity to the Afghan refugees for 40 years, and this story is very close to his heart. Antonio Guterres said despite many challenges, Pakistan set a good example. Addressing the summit, the Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said Pakistan is pursuing a policy of return of Afghan refugees with dignity, safety and honor. He said Pakistan will continue supporting Afghan-owned and led peace process. He urged the world to join hands with Pakistan to provide basic needs to Afghan refugees and enable them to live a dignified life. Speaking on the occasion, Afghan Second Vice President Dani Sarwar said they are thankful to Pakistan for hosting Afghan refugees for 40 years. Addressing the conference, UN High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi said international support to the Afghan refugees remained insufficient. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres held a meeting with Prime Minister Imran Khan in Islamabad today. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi was also present on the occasion. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for implementing United Nations resolutions for amicable solution to Kashmir issue. Talking to Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa in Rawalpindi today, he acknowledged Pakistan's contribution in the UN peacekeeping missions and extraordinary achievements in the fight against terrorism. The UN chief thanked Pakistan for full access given to United Nations Military Observer Group in India and Pakistan, UNMOGIP in Kashmir, and commended improved security situation in Pakistan and its positive efforts towards regional peace and stability. Speaking on the occasion, the Army Chief said Pakistan remains committed and determined to achieve as a stable, peaceful and normalized country. Addressing a seminar in Islamabad this evening, UN Secretary-General said Pakistan is playing a key role in promoting regional peace and resolving disputes under UN peacekeeping obligations. He said international community values sacrifices rendered by Pakistani troops and soldiers for building safer and peaceful world. The UN chief said Pakistani troops have excellent contribution in UN peacekeeping missions, which cannot be forgotten. Antonio Guterres also urged the international community to come forward and recognize Pakistan's efforts for regional peace and stability. In his address, Director General Military Operations Major General Oman Zakaria said, Pakistan has sent over 200,000 troops for 46 missions in 28 different countries during the last 60 years. He said Pakistani soldiers are the most battle-hardened army in the world, and it is due to high standard of physical fitness, professionalism and motivation of Pakistan Army troops. He said over 400 Pakistani women are also playing their role in global peacekeeping missions in the world. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has termed improved security situation in Pakistan as absolutely remarkable. Talking to members of Parliament's standing committees on foreign affairs in Islamabad today, he said dialogue is the only viable solution to all regional disputes, including Kashmir. The parliamentarians informed the UN Secretary General about prevailing tense situation in Kashmir, massive human rights violations in the held territory. This is Radio Pakistan. U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation Zalmay Khalilzad called on Prime Minister Imran Khan in Islamabad tonight. During the meeting, matters pertaining to regional security situation came under discussion. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says Pakistan will continue its efforts for political settlement of Afghan conflict. He was talking to U.S. Special Representative for Afghan Reconciliation Zalmay Khalilzad in Islamabad this evening. He said Islamabad will continue to support an Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process for regional stability. Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that Pakistan will prepare a comprehensive timeline framework for honorable repatriation of all Afghan refugees. Speaking on the occasion, Zalmay Khalilzad appreciated Pakistan's efforts for regional peace and stability and said Islamabad hosted Afghan refugees for 4 decades with open minds. Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashiqawan, has termed UN Chief's remarks about Kashmir as victory of Pakistan's principled stance on Kashmir. In a series of tweets tonight, she said UN Chief's also acknowledgement of Pakistan's counter-terrorism sacrifices has floated a strong message to the world that Pakistan is a peace-loving nation. 7 people, including 2 police personnel, were martyred and 15 others injured in a suicide bomb blast at Adalat Road in Quetta this evening. According to police sources, the injured were shifted to civil hospital for medical treatment. Prime Minister Imran Khan has strongly condemned the suicide blast in Quetta. In a statement, he expressed deep grief and sorrow over loss of precious human lives in the blast. The Prime Minister directed the authorities concerned to provide best medical treatment to the injured. In his condolence message, Interior Minister Ejaz Shah said some miscreants and anti-state elements want to destabilize law and order situation, but they will not succeed in their nefarious designs. Governor Balochistan Amanullah Khan, Yasin Zai and Chief Minister Jam Kamal Khan expressed heartfelt grief and sorrow over the loss of precious lives in the incident. In occupied Kashmir, Indian authorities are not allowing people to visit the APHC chairman Sayyid Ali Gilani, who is suffering from severe chest infection for the past few days. The Hurriyat leaders and organizations in their statements in Srinagar said that India is conspiring to let Sayyid Ali Gilani die by denying him access to proper treatment. Meanwhile, India denied a British lawmaker who is highly critical of policies of New Delhi about Kashmir entry after she landed at New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport today. Debi Abrahams, a Labour Party Member of Parliament who chairs a parliamentary group on Kashmir, was inhumanely treated by the Indian officials at the airport. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold in upper parts during next 24 hours. However, rain snowfall over hills is expected at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.